Welcome back, Kwik Brain. And your question for today, how do you remember things better? If you are in our community, you probably know the power of having an exceptional memory, and that memory is not something you have, it's something that you actually do. That there's no such thing as a good or bad memory, but there is a trained memory and an untrained memory. So you're going to like this tip, regardless of your age, your background, your education level, your gender, your history, your IQ. This one little tip, brain hack, if you will sensitize you and build some awareness to help to elevate your and improve your memory. Okay, so we talk a lot about things, and I'm also doing this on Instagram Live. So hello to everybody here who's joining us. Make sure if you're listening to a podcast, you follow us on social media. And also, if you are watching us on Instagram Live, make sure you subscribe to iTunes and Spotify, and especially our YouTube. That's where we put the full version of our podcast. Okay, wonderful. So we've talked about many principles to having a better memory. We talk about imagination. We talk about association. We talk about organization. We talk about attention. And that's a lot of alliteration with the shows. I want to talk about one more, and that's your intention. Your intention. What is your intention for learning? What is your intention for remembering? You know, we are bombarded with an avalanche of information, right? Each and every day. And it is overwhelming, right? And you must intend to remember something if you are going to remember something. It's as simple as that. If you forgot a name, now, by the way, say yes if this is you. Have you forgotten a name recently? Have you forgotten where you parked your car? Have you misplaced things that you use every single day, like the remote control or maybe your phone? Have you ever lost your train of thought? Have you ever forgot what someone just said? Like maybe something I just said, right? And there's a quote from my mentor. His name is Dr. Stephen Covey. Many of you have read his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He said, most people do not listen with the intention to understand. Most people listen with the intention to reply. So they're not really understanding, because their intention is they're thinking about how they're going to respond. And one of his habits was seek first to understand, then to be understood. Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's why your intention matters. People could feel your intention. Now, how are we defining intention? Well, in Latin, intentus is your aim. It is your purpose, right? It can be defined as a thing that you intended, an aim, a plan. The power of intention is really the power of a focused, dedicated mind. And intention is a great starting point. You know, it's a starting point for every goal, having the intention of every dream that you have. It is the creative power that fulfills our needs, you know, whether it happens to be love or in relationships, health, money or wealth, right? Think about it. Everything happens in life began with an intention, some kind of intention. When you decided to buy that gift, if you decide to wiggle your fingers, if you decide to text a friend, if you want to remember someone's name, it all starts with the intention of doing so, right? Wayne Dyer says, our intention creates our reality. Think about that. Our intention creates our reality, right? I know Oprah has talked the power of intention also as well, that she says, intention is one with cause and effect. And so intention, it determines our outcome, right? And she mentions in one of her quotes that if you're stuck moving forward, you have to check the thought and the action that has created your circumstances. So that's the power of intention. And so how do we learn? How do we live less out of habit and more through intention? And let's just think about that. When you're focusing your mental energy on something that, let's say, we're able to give more of our brain power to it. It's not magic at all, because there's a method behind the magic. It's our innate tool that we have. This is the power of the mind being placed in a position where you are planning, where you are preparing, where you need to be able to perform at optimal levels, right? And so intention isn't a do it once and forget about it. It's not that kind of thing. It's this continuous, consistent use of the mind in a focused manner. And when you cultivate this state and use it, you can get what you want in life easier, right? A lot of people don't remember names. Let's talk about memory, because they don't have an intention for remembering that name. Do you really have a set intention to remember what you read? Do you set intentions when you're learning something or listening to somebody to really understand it from their point of view, to really focus, to really organize the information, to be able to, do you intend to use it in the future also as well? So like, even if we made an intention, right? So desire is one thing. You could desire something and have an interest in something. Intention, I would say, is a level above that. It's where you take that feeling and you're making a commitment. That's something that's going to lead to a decision. If you had an intention to remember someone's name and you truly decided, right? You've heard the word decision. It's like incision, to cut, cutting off from any other possibility. You're burning the bridges that you're going to do it, right? So it's like you have this intention to be able to stop doing something. Maybe you want to stop doing something like eating that junk food, or you want to stop smoking, right? That is your intention. But you can make that transformation without claiming that intention. And so for me, when we're thinking about cultivating this state of intention, there are three clear steps, right? So you could write this down, or you'll probably easily remember this. Number one is you have to decide what you want, and that's in your head, right? You have to decide what you want. This now, by the way, when you're, by definition, the power of intention, you need to know what your goal is, right? When you're thinking about intention, the aim, is the goal, the dream. So you set that intention. If you don't know this, you're never going to be able to utilize your power, because clarity gives you power, right? The very easy phrase to remember is, I commit myself to this. I commit myself to remembering people's names. I commit myself to remembering where I parked the car. That could be your intention. Most people just park, they're mindless, right? They park their car, or they go on autopilot. They're not thinking about things, or they're at home and you put something somewhere, but there's no intention behind remembering where that thing is, right? Because they're not mindful. And I'm going to do a specific episode on mindfulness. So the first step is get in your head, right? What do you want? And what do you want with clarity? And so what's your intention around learning and your intention around life, right? The second thing I would say is, from head, you go into your heart. All right. This is really your why. You have to get clear on your why. Now that you know what you want, why do you want it? What is it going to give you? Because reasons reap results. Reasons reap results. And honestly, reasons reap rewards also as well. Because a lot of people know what to do here in their head, but they don't do it with their hands, which is the third part, because they're not connected with their heart, the emotion, the energy of motion, right? So you set the intention in your head, right? You feel it in your heart in terms of why you must do it, right? Simon Sinek has a great book called Start With Why. And then finally, the third stage really is your hands, head, heart, hands. And that's where you work for it, right? And once you know what you want and why you want it, that serves as a great foundation. It's very attractive, but you can't have the law of attraction without the law of action, right? Even you can see the word action in the word attraction, right? So you can't even make the word attraction without the word action. Literally, the last 6 letters of attraction is the word what? Action, right? And so that gets to your hands. And so what is your intention in your head? And then feel the intention in your heart in terms of why you want it. And then be very intentional with your hands, meaning the method you're going to take place, right? Because your intention, it's almost a guiding principle. of how you want to be, on how you want to learn, on how you want to live, on how you want to show up in the world, right? And I think that's really the goal is you imagine your intention. Imagine remembering the things that you want to remember. Those languages, something you just read, something where something that you're placing somewhere, you want to be able to recall it so you don't lose it. Something that you want to say, like maybe you have a thought, but you don't want to lose this thought, but you're also listening to somebody else. So imagine your intention, and what do? You see it, you feel it, and then you work daily for it. Now, if you're watching on video, if you're not, you could see, I recommend you watch this on YouTube. You can certainly listen to it on iTunes and Spotify, but watch some of it. We need to be able to see, and it helps us to be able to focus. And some of you who are listening learn better through watching also as well. So there are few pursuits more important than living an intentional life. My friend Deepak Chopra, who we're going to have back on the podcast, he talks about intentions compressed into words, enfold magical power. And you and your memories, your growth are the greatest project you're ever going to have to work on. So take time, create time, make magic. If you want more, my team put together some resources for you, and they're absolutely free. Just go to jimkwik.com/more, MORE. There you can get a 1-hour introduction masterclass on speed reading. If you have an intention of reading faster and remembering what you read and having better focus, go there. I also give you 3 training videos on how to remember people's names and a lot more. Just go to jimkwik.com/more. And that's really the goal. Live with intention. I'll give you one last quote. I talk about Jim Carrey in our book Limitless, and he talks about intention, and it's our intention. Our intention is everything, he says. Nothing happens on this planet without it. Not one single thing has ever been accomplished without intention. So live, learn less out of habit and more out of your intent. This is your brain coach, Jim Kwik. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Take care, my friends.
Hi, Kwik Brain, it's your brain coach. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. 3 things to do. Number 1, make sure you share this, because when you teach something, you get to learn it twice. Update your learning so you can update other people's learning as well. Number 2, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing, because if you miss a video, you miss a lot. And finally, make sure you hit that bell so you're notified and you find out when we put out the latest and the greatest. One extra thing, if you want really close attention, then text me. Here is my phone number, 310-299-9362. Did you remember that number? 310-299-9362. Shoot me a text and we'll stay in touch. Ask me your burning question. And I wish your days be full of lots of life, lots of love, lots of laughter, and always lots of learning. I'll see you in our next video.